everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Madi, and this is AltAsmr. Today, I'm just going to be reading you some poetry. I hope that you enjoy my selection. First, the first poem will be by Wakina She. Beautiful, beautiful poet. A poetic memoir. Oh, I love the back. It says, "You are she, or maybe he, creating a we. Every time you look into my life and see parts of your own journey." Let's see, I've marked the poem with this little bell. Go. I bought this from Wakina maybe a few years ago. I'm going to be reading you In the Stillness. In the silence, self was found. Complacency was lost. Ambition took its place. Inside of solitude, away from the noise, away from the unnecessary, away from the company of others, self was found. Sitting alone in the dark of night, watching the sky shift hues, as the sun approached, promising daylight, loneliness taught a valuable lesson. Holding on to the space between discovery and destruction, defining the balance of polar opposites, and learning contentment, self was found. I like this one. Little things. I remember the night you woke me, just so I could see the full moon. As it was passing by my window, the earth keeps spinning, so you had to time it perfectly. As consciousness came to greet me, and my eyes opened, I saw the white rock in the sky I had grown to love. You care so much for me. You pay attention to what speaks to my heart that night. It was the stillness I needed. In the dead of life's winter, it's not often I see the sun. So I learned to cherish the light, as it covers the moon with a unique fluorescent glow in my dark skies. You knew, and you wanted wanted to share a smile with me. You wanted to share a piece of joy with me. You knew I would compromise sleep for such a moment as that. I couldn't ask for anything more than your kind thoughts and your kind actions. Thank you for bringing me the moon. Oh. I love that. Thank you, Joaquina. Lovely, 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 lovely. Right? Next. My favorite poets. Cummings. Oops. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Lost my bell. In this book, they're not titled. I can't remember the title of this poem, but it was always one of my favorites. Somewhere I have never traveled, gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. In your most frail gesture are things which enclose me, or which I cannot touch because they are too near. Your slightest look easily will enclose me, though I have closed myself as fingers. You open always, petal by petal, myself as spring opens, touching skillfully, mysteriously, her first rose. Or, if your wish be to close me, I and my life will shut very beautifully, suddenly, as when the heart of this flower imagines the snow carefully everywhere descending. Nothing which we are to perceive in this world equals the power of your intense fragility, whose texture compels me with the color of its countries, rendering death and forever with each breathing. I do not know what it is about you that closes and opens, only something in me understands the voice of your eyes is deeper than all roses. Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands. It's probably one of my favorite poems by him. So beautiful. Let's see. Here we go. I love this one as well. Death, having lost, put on his universe and yawned. It looked like rain. played for timelessness with chips of when, that's yours, I guess. You'll have to loan me pain to take the hearse. See you again. Love, having found, wound up such pretty toys as themselves could not know. The earth tinily whirls while daisies grow, and boys and girls have whispered thus and so. And girls with boys to bed will go. A lot of his poetry is kind of abstract. I would definitely recommend reading it. Silently if, out of not knowable night's utmost nothing, wanders a little guess, only which is this world. More my life does not leap than with the mystery your smile. Sings or if, spiraling as luminous they climb oblivion, voices who are dreams, less into heaven certainly earth swims. Then each my deeper death becomes your kiss. Losing through you what seemed myself, I find selves unimaginably mine, beyond sorrow's own joys and hoping's very fears. Yours is the light by which my spirit's born. Yours is the darkness of my soul's return. You are my sun, my moon, and all my stars. Oh. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now for the final one. This was very, very old. My family has had it for a very long time. I actually kind of call it the family Bible. If you can see, it's very old with so many different marked poems. Let's see which one I marked. Here we go. Let's get rid of that bell. I have to be careful though because it's kind of falling apart, so I'm going to read it this way. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. O stormy, stormy world, the days you were not swirled around with mist and cloud, or wrapped as in a shroud, and the sun's brilliant ball was not in part or all, obscured from mortal view, were days so very few, I can but wonder whence I get the lasting sense of so much warmth and light. If my mistrust is right, it may be altogether from one day's perfect weather, when starting clear at dawn, the day swept clearly on, to finish clear at eve. I verily believe my fair impression may be all from that one day, no shadow crossed but ours, as through its blazing flowers we went from house to wood for change of solitude. I love that. Here we go. Leaves compared with flowers. A tree's leaves may be ever so good, so may its bark, so may its wood. But unless you put the right thing to its root, it never will show much flower or fruit. But I may be one who does not care ever to have tree bloom or bear. Leaves for smooth and bark for rough, leaves and bark may be tree enough. Some giant trees have blooms so small, they might as well have none at all. Late in life I have come to on fern, now lichens are due to have their turn. I bade men tell me which in brief, which is fairer, flower or leaf. They did not have the wit to say, leaves by night and flowers by day. Leaves and bark, to lean against and hear in the dark. Petals I may have once pursued, leaves are all my darker mood. Oh, I love that. Let's see what other ones are marked. Here we go. Here we go. Lost in heaven. The clouds, the source of rain one stormy night, offered an opening to the source of dew, which I accepted with impatient sight, looking for my old sky marks in the blue. But stars were scarce in that part of the sky, and no two were of the same constellation. No one was bright enough to identify. So 'twas with not ungrateful consternation, seeing myself well lost once more, I sighed, where in heaven am I? But don't tell me. Oh, opening clouds, by opening on me wide, let's let my heavenly lostness overwhelm me. Let's see, one more. The lockless door. It went many years, but at last came a knock, and I thought of the door with no lock to lock. I blew out the light, I tiptoed the floor, and raised both hands in prayer to the door. But the knock came again, my window was wide. I climbed on the sill and descended outside. Back over the sill I bade her come in, to whatever the knock at the door may have been. So at a knock I emptied my cage, to hide in the world and alter with age. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So lovely. I hope you enjoyed this poetry reading. I've been wanting to do more reading in my ASMR videos. If you're a fan of it, if you're a fan of me reading, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But for now, it's okay to drift away. I'll see you